Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving Schools.
Hello and welcome to Owen the Town. Well, another game at Kenilworth Road where I don't think we took our opportunities and we draw 1-1 with Middlesbrough. Whilst other teams around us take 3 points, we have to be happy with just the one. For me, a frustrating result off the back of a reasonably good performance. We'll see what the boys think in a moment. In fairness, that's one defeat in 4 games. We are shooters. That give you any inspiration that this team can pull off the great escape. But let me see what you think and what you said a little bit later on. Obviously, we'll ask the lads as well. And we've also got your 3-word reviews as usual. And with me tonight, you'll see if you're already watching on YouTube, we've got Steve and Darren. Thanks for coming along, guys.
Good evening.
Hello.
Frustrating, wasn't it? I think really frustrating Saturday.
Massively.
And, you know, you were hoping that we could build on, you know, okay performances and grabbing points. But this time, Darren, it was just so frustrating.
Probably the most frustrating game of the season, I think. As an overall, first half of the Sunderland, Sheffield United, we had good games, but they were sort of first half. I think this whole game is a whole frustrating one, isn't it? You know, we especially first half, yes, but the whole game we were marginally on top, certainly second half. So, yeah, really, really frustrating. Coming off the 2 wins in 3, especially that first 20 minutes, it should have only gone one way.
We should have been out of sight, absolutely.
You know, and weirdly, Middlesbrough at home, a point, most other times you'd be quite happy with that. But in the situation we're in and how the results went, it makes it even more frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to a couple of people that I know sort of on the Sunday, like, you know, parents of my grandson's friends and stuff like that, you know, Leeds fans, and they said, oh, that was a decent result. I said, no. I said, if you look at it on a bit of paper, in isolation, maybe, but how it unfolded, it isn't. And do you know what was so annoying for me? It was the fact that there was quite a lot of optimism. There was a buzz around the place before the game that hasn't been for a while. The atmosphere was much better, and you know the players responded and we responded, and you know they sort of, you're happy. You think, right, that's it. We're down. We're relegated. I'm perfectly okay with it. I'm calm. But then they lure you back in with a couple of results. So you know you start to hope again. And then they go and do that again to you.
Middlesbrough with the fans, Middlesbrough fans.
Yes,
I haven't been drinking, honestly. Would be the first to say they had a makeshift back 4.
You should say backside.
Yeah, I nearly did say that. Yeah, sorry, a makeshift back 4, and they weren't expecting to do any better than they did.
Okay, but they didn't have a makeshift midfield or forward line, I don't think, and they didn't have a shot on target the whole game. But is
that because we played well, or is that because they were poor?
Apparently, the pitch was dry and it was sunny. So
it was very bobbly, totally not conducive to how Middlesbrough want to play the game.
Yeah, how dare we have a pitch like that? No, I think we played well. We defended really, really well. There wasn't too many questions asked, but they just did all the basics, cleaned everything up, and
not one shot on target.
No, and what's his name? Iñárritu. You know, okay, he's been there and done it, but he's been there and done it. You know, he's a relatively big name. Is it Aziz or whatever his name is, the winger? He tore us apart up at their place.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone would have tore us apart that day. True. But I think Iñárritu has been there and done that as a bit part player. I've never, even when they were, Leicester and that were doing well, I've never really fancied
And Man
him
City.
as a player.
He was at Man City, wasn't he? You know, he's. But no,
Yeah.
he's been to that level. He's got some cups in his trophy cabinet at home. I would have thought. So
Yeah.
and actually, I didn't realise he was playing. It was only when I got home and I went, oh, they had him up front.
Yeah, no, I didn't realise.
That's how quiet they were.
Fantastic. Let's have a look at your 3-word reviews for the weekend. Luton Town 0, Middlesbrough 0. Andy, so frustrating. Kilty says 2 points dropped. Lizzie, deserved to win. Clive, everything but score. Mike, allergic to scoring. Jess, you're right. Cal's arse banjo. Ken, shooting practice needed. Can you see the theme here? Phil, Bloomfield's plan working. Greg, still going down. And Lee and many others, toothless up front. They all sort of say the same things, but if you want to pick one each, you can.
Look, we like you're saying, they're all kind of saying the same thing about the lack of goals, but Kilty 2 points dropped is the biggest one, where everybody else is picking up points. Not only that, we got our result against Cardiff, and when we were recording last week, the results didn't go away the next day, and then the results didn't go away on Saturday. So, yes, we would have only kept with them, but we would have kept with them. It is 2 points dropped, even though we picked up one, and that arguably any other time in the season you'd probably be happy with.
You've got to keep within striking distance of these teams, though, haven't you, Darren?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. They all sort of pulled away a couple of points. We want to be in striking distance, so if we play them and get the result, we want to go above them.
You go above them, not just catching them up, which is probably where that's left us now.
Yeah,
especially with Derby getting that late winner.
Yep.
I get so. Yeah, Kilty 2 points dropped, and I'm probably still with Greg. We're probably still going down.
Jess, Cal's arse banjo.
Would you like to explain any more than that?
No. I'm disappointed that my 3-word review didn't make it onto the list, but I'll have a word with Jacob. Final third farce.
So it's made it on the list now. So why do you say that?
Well, just a variation of the theme, isn't it? I mean, this is Kev Lennon put something on Twitter, so thanks to him for this. Eli, 5 goals, 39 appearances, 17 games without a goal. Colton, 7 goals, 35 appearances, 13 games without a goal.
Why do you think that our 2 strikers that were actually fairly good in the Premier League, to be fair to them, they when they got the opportunities, they took them. Why are they not scoring now? What's gone wrong with their shooting boots?
Great question. If only we knew. Morris, we knew he was touch and go whether he was going to play on Saturday because of an injury. I still think he looked injured.
Yeah.
Eli just looks absolutely shot of any confidence.
We've spoken about Elijah on quite a few occasions, obviously, and I'll say again, I cannot think of any player ever that I've watched that is so dependent on confidence. Because when he is full of confidence, he was terrorising Premier League teams for a period of time. And he had the highest conversion rate, shots to goals, up to the point where he got injured in the Premier League. But he's had a season in the Championship sort of a few years ago where confidence went. And
it picked up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, but it's just abysmal. Those stats are abysmal for those players.
Do you think there is an element of once you've peaked, and arguably, even probably for the club, once you've peaked, it's hard to get that motivation, and probably more so for strikers than a defender or a midfielder, for instance. When you're watching yourself on Match a Day, from a young kid, you've made it. We all saw Luke Berry, didn't we, when he was on Match a Day, and he goes, I can't believe it. When you've been there, and then you come back down to earth a little bit, and probably because of the nature of how a striker is, maybe it just affects them more. I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you not think that they want that adrenaline, that buzz of scoring a goal, that euphoria? I get what you're saying about, and it's no disrespect to when you say, oh, we're only playing any team from the Championship, whereas last year it was Liverpool's, blah, 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 blah.
Well, that's motivation enough, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. But, the euphoria, this is why, the strikers want to get goals, that moment, that adrenaline. And
that's why we like it, because we like that moment too, don't we?
Could Eli's even be down to he didn't get a move?
No, I don't believe he's sulking.
I just feel that.
I'm just, there's something out there. But
Well, let's put it this a different way then. So Carlton and Eli are not scoring. Do you start without either of them next time?
well, I wouldn't have started them on
either
Saturday, Dave. No, Steve, we bumped into each other before the game. You're the only one that's recognised me. So needy.
Did he shout, Dave? Oh, sorry.
And when the team sheet came out, it was about that time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we kind of went, really? He's going again? You know, and I really wasn't expecting to see Morris because of the chat about him possibly being injured. I guess with the international break coming up, you go, well, will you do one more? I know we've been playing Ali coming on out wide, but the boy can play up top. And I just thought we'd see something different on Saturday. And, you know, what's he going to do now? Because he could have, you got to take that pressure away from those strikers at times. For me, you know, if they're both not hitting it, so why play both of them? You know, he could have. If he was going to play Morris always starts. So then start Brown with him or start Ali with him or something. I couldn't believe we saw the both of them up top, and you know,
because he said he's going with players that have been there and done that. So on that basis, you could think maybe there's a reason to say you're surprised that Naismith didn't come back into the side. It worked out because Middlesbrough were so inept, and you know, and we defended and shut them out well. So, but you know, he said it's all about experience, and you know, Elijah and Colton have pretty much proved throughout the season that they can't do it, particularly together.
So, come Hull in a couple of weeks, who do you put up the front? Who do you start? Do you start your new guys?
Well, arguably, he'll probably go with the two of them again because then they've had 2 weeks off. They've had a rest. He'll probably go again, and it might shoot him in the foot again. You know, I was just really, really surprised on Saturday.
Yeah,
but the alternative is what? That's what I'm trying to say. The alternative is like Jacob Brown possibly and
Nordas.
Yeah, but so again, you asking that question, Dave, can make us go back to the January transfer window. We bought in Nordas, not a lot of money, 1.3, I think something like that. Pretty much unproven at this level. Absolutely. And in the close season. So to get him up to speed, he's got to go through a pre-season routine. Okay? If we've ever been a time where we had to bring in players for the right here and now, it was that window that's just gone. Joe Taylor was always going to go. That's fine. That was always going to happen. So he was gone. And we spend $3 million on Tello, who's got all the hallmarks of looking like a good player. Missed two awful opportunities on Saturday that we'll come to in that. But you're absolutely right. Who else have we got? But whose fault is it that we haven't got anyone else? We had that transfer window. The stats were already abysmal coming up to it.
It's not like we didn't try to replace somebody, is it? It's not like we didn't try. You can't.
How hard did we try?
Well, 4 times apparently. I guess we're talking about Kone, aren't we?
Well,
we tried to get him, went in 4 times for him.
But not just him alone, And
I should imagine there was others, yeah.
Kone might end up regretting that and might come next season. You don't know.
But I literally reckon you could put Naismith up there and he ain't going to be any worse. Naismith's at least a bit of a player. But it's at that level. It wouldn't matter who you put up there, Dave, because what are Morris and Adebayo on? 5 goals each?
5 and 7.
5 and 7. I reckon you could give any professional player that amount of football and they'd probably score that many goals playing up front.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at the game.
Genuinely,
I'm agreeing.
Yeah, it's back to it is our own fault.
Sadly. Let's talk about the game in a little bit more detail. I felt we started with the same team that we played against Cardiff, and do you know what? I wasn't worried by that.
Despite the abysmal first half at Cardiff, it was so awful.
But second half...
So their reward is to go and have another go.
Well, it might have been abysmal the first half, but they performed well second half.
Because he made the subs.
He made them subs, right. So he started with that same team, and he's obviously got a game plan. He's obviously watched Middlesbrough, or the team have watched Middlesbrough a lot. They knew what they were going to do. And let's be fair, they started brilliantly, and you know that sort of picks up the crowd at Kenilworth Road, and we're going at them, and we're really fast. We're playing the ball well. We're looking like we want it, and I'm thinking we're gonna win today. Straight away, I'm thinking we're gonna win. And we could have had a goal straight away. You've mentioned it already, Asgard, Steve.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought first half, apart from the shot, I thought we were exceptional. I thought our football was fast. I thought it was aggressive. You know, and again, you know, I said earlier, there was a buzz about the place. You know, even when we were sort of having a drink before, you know, there was an optimism, and I think the fans were there from the start. And I thought the first half we were absolutely excellent. Jones was getting round the side of his guy, and you know, maybe not the quality in was as desired every single time, and that. But we went at them, and it went exactly how I wanted it to with Middlesbrough. They're a team, couple of injuries, yeah, but they're not going up and they're not going down. So I was thinking, if they're not at 100%, you know, they're there for the taking. And I know it's a phrase that we use a lot, but out of all the teams we've seen so far, they were amongst the top of they're there for the taking on that day.
And we didn't. The Asgard missed the first one. It's hard to put it into words, really, Darren. When you think about the ball across was brilliant, he stuck his foot out and it goes over the bar, and you're just thinking, how did we miss that?
Well, obviously we're down the other end, and I don't know about you, Steve, but I looked at that. How did he miss it? Surely it's taken a deflection as the keeper saved it. What has happened there? Because surely he hasn't put it over the bar from there.
It was £2 of bacon, though, wasn't it? Lean back.
Oh dear,
Jesus!
This could be a long night, folks. I was going to say,
searching for that. I was
we mentioned the state of the pitch, and you know, because of the Middlesbrough complaints, but actually it was a bit wobbly in places, and so there may have been a little reason that it popped up a little bit, and the ball was across quite quickly. But you'd expect a Carlton Morris to be in that position, or an Addy Bayo to be in that position. And
or it's one of those ones where if it hits him off his arse or somewhere else, it goes in. You know, I've only watched it back once. Has he connected too well? Is that the case? You know,
you know, but I don't want to throw the price tag at it. You know, but you know, we bought him for $3 million. But it doesn't matter if he was a free transfer. You know, I think we got Alfie for nothing from Stoke and all this. Like, any professional footballer should be putting that away, and Tello knows that. You know, he can see how disappointed he was, but I think when you miss one, it just makes you're a bit edgy with the next one, and then if that's missed, you know, we're just creating a tenseness for ourselves by not putting away these easy chances.
Well, the game goes from, and it was an excellent 10 minutes, a pretty good 20 minutes, and then it levelled out a little bit, but it went from a game of being, we're going to win this, to, you watch, we'll lose this 1-0. You know, it kind of, because it became apparent that we weren't going to score.
The Luton way, really, isn't it? When you're dominant, you don't take your chances, and they just put one in at the end when they've had no chances themselves. A little bit later, I mean, I think Asgard missed again, didn't he?
The little side volley thing.
Little side volley.
Yeah. He connected well. It was routine save, though.
Routine save. Liam Walsh had a chance, and so they're coming thick and fast. But now we have to talk about the one where we should have gone immediately 1-0 up, and then the game changes totally and we win the game. And that's the chance from Elijah.
Yeah, from the bad back pass.
Honestly, I don't know how he didn't score. I was waiting to just see the net ripple.
He didn't even get any pace on the ball. It was so easy for the keeper that, you know, I don't know if he scuffed it, but there was no pace on it at all. And I'll tell you what, I said to the guys around me, after that, because to me, that was the fourth chance, but the third really good chance. After that miss sucked all the atmosphere out of the ground. After that, it was, you know, the fans were, well, here we go again.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere went after that moment. And he scuffed it.
Because I wasn't even sure at the time. I turned around to my mate and I was like, why didn't he hit it first time? He could have taken the keeper by surprise, just bang, get it first time. Watching it back, maybe needed a touch.
Yeah.
He's done what strikers should do, is try and go across the goalie, but...
It was feeble though, wasn't it, Darren?
It proper feeble, but I'm trying to remember. I don't know whether it was in the Premier League or in the Championship the year before, but he had one over on that side and he actually put it to the near post.
Brighton. It was Brighton.
Yeah, you know, and you kind of think almost the exact same spot and situation, whatever, and you just... I guess there's a player playing with confidence or not.
Yep.
But yeah, proper roller.
Do you think when they're in that sort of form and they're not performing so well and they get that chance, and are they like what I would have been like when I was put through on goal and thinking, oh crikey, if I don't score, I'd look a right melon.
I think that they're having second thoughts when they're having
Lemon
sort of moments like that. But strikers, by and large, I would say, are all about instinct. You know, it's
well, that's normally where Eli's better. You know, when he hasn't got a lot of time to think about it, and really even that, yes, he got a touch and a shot, but he didn't have a lot of time to think about it. That's normally where he's best. You know, if he's running through on goal, you know,
he would have been, he would have been worried about that, you know, because of the situation that he finds himself in.
Should have been 1-0.
Yeah.
Again, we still kept going, and I know you said 20 minutes, but I thought the
majority
whole first half. I thought we were really good.
No.
I thought it was really good and really on it. Really on it.
No, I agree, but I just thought it's certainly the first 20 minutes was exceptional.
I can't remember, and I know the stats back this up. I can't remember being worried. I don't think Kaminsky had to make a save.
No,
nothing.
No, because I think we were about 26 minutes in, and I went, has he touched the ball yet?
No, it's 7 shots, none on target from Borough.
Morris had another chance saved.
Well, he scuffed a shot which came back to him, and then he, from a narrow angle, the keeper tipped it over the bar. But again, that shot before, you know, he invariably would used to get a really good shot off. That was another sort of scuffed opportunity.
It was always the way, and Darren, I agree with you, that you sit there, you talk to the people around you, and you go, this is just going to go one way now. It's going to go one way. There's no way that Middlesbrough will be that bad in the second half. Fortunately, they were. But you still felt that they might just get that breakaway and we'd give a pen or something would happen against us.
I felt as though the second half evened out a little bit. I thought it was more even. I think I think
they tightened it up a bit, didn't they?
Yeah. And maybe, like we're saying, our belief started draining away a little bit. It summed it up for me where actually Adebayo came off 10 minutes into the second half. He did a needless shoulder barge into someone just in front of the dugouts. The guy's going away from play, you know, going nowhere, and he's absolutely shoulder gone through him. And had a little bit of a go at the ref, you know, whatever. They put the ball down, took the quick free kick, and Eli just stood there and went, like that, and then didn't go after it. Bloomfield hooked him within a minute, you know, because his body language and everything was. But again, it just felt like we kind of went, it's going to be one of those days.
The way that Bloomfield reacts in a game, I suppose, is a bit more refreshing than when we was under Rob.
Yes,
to the fact of he can see that and he makes it early. He makes those changes earlier. You know, I was quite surprised how quickly he changed it in the second half. You know, 5-6 minutes in, 7 minutes in.
I was pleased with that.
But it wasn't the wrong decision; it was the right decision.
But equally, he was it Ali that came on for Adebayo at that time? I'm trying to think which way round they were. But you know, Ali's come on 2 games in a row on the left hand side of the 3 or whatever formation we're playing. He's looked really good. And then he brought him on and put him over on the right and brought Jones. And Jones was having some luck. I think he'd got the left back booked and then didn't go at him. And then he put Ali on the right and brought Jones over to the left. And I thought, okay, well, it's a bit odd. And it didn't really.
I would like to see Ali sort of like in a central number 10 role, because he will run at a player and he can go either way. And, you know, makeshift defence, you know, I think that was maybe another opportunity just to see what he can do down the middle.
I think you're right. I'd love to see him there and actually put Asgard out wide.
Yeah, because we're crying out for better quality deliveries, and you know, I would hope that he would be someone that could do that.
Yeah.
Actually, Ali's got a lot to prove, isn't he, from where he's come from for us. You know, he's come from a lower league team. And he wants to be successful, and you can see that when he's playing. You can see that he's after the ball all of the time.
Yeah.
He's quick, and he really wants
He is
and
powerful as well.
We've been missing that
Yeah.
most of the season. We've been missing that. I want to say desire. I'm not saying the club don't want to win, but the desire from our players all of the game.
It's the directness and I think when you're struggling and you're low on confidence, you don't go to look to beat a player, but he will always look to get past someone. And I think that's what you're sort of trying to say.
But
mate.
I guess it's like how we came up through the leagues. We always took on players that wanted to prove themselves were playing at their highest level that they'd played at that time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we built ourselves on. And if you think as a club we're on our way down overall, from reaching that peak, and the players are on their way down. The Morrises, the Adebayo's, and that are on their way down, but he's going the other way. And you're right; it shows in his play because you know his drive and his body language, everything is so positive because he's trying to prove that he can belong at that level.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about one more miss because it frustrated me even more, and that was McGuinness' header. You know, for me, from where I know you're behind that goal. But from where I'm standing, I'm thinking he should score.
Yeah.
I think he should score that.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I don't know. I mean, he got up really well. It should have been. It should have been.
Yeah, he had a lot of goal to aim for as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It should have been on target. Absolutely.
And it's those sort of chances that you miss, and then normally we back off. We defend deep the last couple of minutes, and we lose. So at least we've got to be grateful we got the point.
Yeah. Well, I mean. The second half, okay, right, we talked about the first half, and I say, apart from the finishing, I thought we were as good as we've been pretty much all season. I was really pleased with how we were playing up to that point. Second half, though, we didn't play that way at all. You know, we resorted to long balls, you know, sort of into the strikers again, you know, and Colton won his fair share of flick-ons. And I remember there was 2 or 3 times, you know, you got Colton and Elijah quite a long way away from each other, which I don't understand. And Colton is flicking it on to no one, you know, and he's looking around. No one, you know, there was no point in lumping the ball up because Elijah wasn't running to him or past him. You know, no one from midfield was. So you just think, why hasn't this been discussed in training?
Eli is shocking at reading the game.
Yeah.
So if the defence, if it's coming across, a cross comes in, a defender blocks it, and he's sort of on the edge of his area, say on the right hand side of the edge of the area. We know he's going to play it up there, just beyond the halfway line, over towards their left back area.
Yeah. And
Eli would be over there somewhere. He doesn't look at the game and think, right, when he clears that's going there. It lands there, and he goes, oh, I better go over there and have a go.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, with the flick-ons, Morris is probably going to win more than not. And to be honest, in that side of Morris's game on Saturday wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
and it was just the finishing.
But it also gives all the other Luton players an opportunity just to lump it up the field when you've got sort of, you know, Colton and that there. And we didn't do that first half. So why we just done that for the majority of the second half, God only knows. Probably because they thought, oh well, we've run out of ideas now.
So inspiration is not there for you two that we can get out of this. If you look at our next 5 fixtures, our next 3 aways are crucials, and we can't keep saying must wins. But Hull away, Stoke away, Derby away, we need 9 points out of those.
I don't think it'd be enough. We do, but I don't think it. We've left it too late.
I'm not going to talk about Leeds at home. Would be like, well, actually, you know, it'd be nice to turn that one up, wouldn't it?
Well, you know, QPR took a draw from the other day. Leeds are having their classic little bit of a wobble. So who knows where they'll be in a few weeks'
time. And then
time.
Blackburn, bless them.
Blackburn, I mean, come on. They've done us no favours over...
What do you mean took no favours? They took Woodrow.
And he's done nothing for them.
Yeah, but that's a good favour.
But you know, it's a good favour. But they've lost to 3 of our nearest sort of rivals down the bottom there. Look, any other time of the season, you get 7 points out of 12 in every 4-game section. You're going to end up 10th in the league or something like that. You know, our form and how we're playing. If we'd done that right from the start of the season, we'd be sitting probably where most Luton fans thought we'd be, just outside the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know. slight outside chance, but probably not of making the playoffs. So but we've left it far too late.
I mean, I really hope that I'm wrong, mate, but I can't see us getting more than 2 points out of those 3 away games.
Flipping heck.
But we can't score goals.
No, I get it. It's a long trip to Hull, isn't it?
Well, it's for me. I'm driving and listening to you, Dave.
But we're saying about leaving it too late. And again, what does that come down to? We've just played Middlesbrough. Edwards should have gone after the Middlesbrough away game. And you could have got someone in earlier. If you bring a Bloomfield in then, or anyone in then, he would have had more time to... it does look like we're starting to play a bit of a Bloomfield way. I think someone said something on the free word review about playing Bloomfield's way. So it's looking like we're doing different things, or at least a bit of confidence is coming. But imagine if he'd come in all the way back there. We probably, we would have been a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks ahead of where we are now. And the likelihood is we'd probably, I wouldn't say be safe, but we'd probably be somewhere where Portsmouth are right now, 8 or 9 points above the relegation zone, going, well, we'll look over our shoulder, but we're probably all right.
Yeah.
The board acted too late, and again, it's on, for me, it's on them.
Yeah.
When you look at Bloomfield's form when he went to Wickham, when he first got there, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It took him half a season to get it sorted. And then the season when he got a motor in, he left.
Well, Jones, when he first came to us, it took him quite a while to get it going. I think we were, not winning many games and that. So, it does take him, a while, and we accept that. So do you question that appointment? Because when we appointed him, we needed someone for right there, right now.
Yeah.
Same as we did with regards to recruitment in January.
Yeah. It might well be the right guy for the team at some stage, over the next... Or even if you'd gone and got someone in, and if we ended up getting relegated, or if they kept him up, you'd get someone in to do the job of keeping us up.
Yeah.
And then either give him the job, or if he was only in for a certain amount of time, then you bring a Bloomfield in, and then, have a whole season at it.
Yeah.
It was...
Well, it was a gamble, and the fact that he didn't win in his first 8 games, that alone could be season defining, and therefore you could say the gamble hasn't paid off already. But we did play well first half, but second half we just lumped it up the field again.
So there's no great escape for you guys?
No, because we can't score goals.
We can't score goals. We've left it too late, and the other teams around us are picking up points.
Right, I'll be the optimist then. I reckon if we can get a couple of points over the next few, the next 3 away games are key.
Yeah, but realistically, Dave,
but they've all been key, haven't they? Let's be fair.
Yeah, exactly. But realistically, let's just go through them. So, Hull away, again, you could say that's winnable for both teams.
I think out of the 3 away games, that's the least likely. For us.
Derby are on a bit of form at the moment. They've won 3 on the bounce.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing we needed. Stoke, can't really say much about them at the minute. They're on a bit of a spiral.
Yeah, they're really struggling.
And Hull, I think is winnable. Leeds, I think you just write that one off. If we get anything out of that, it'd be fantastic. And Blackburn at home, we have to win.
We tend to do well against Blackburn, and they're so... on and off, but seem more off than ever at the moment. You'd look at that one and go, that's a 3 point. That has to be 3 points.
Wow. Well, we asked you guys, 1 defeat in 4 games. Does that make you think that we can still pull off a great escape? Well, Simon just says nope. 2 strikers that have not scored in 30 games between them says all you need to know. Should have been out of sight by Saturday half time. Deb, she says, still a squeak, but with games running out and our best run has been sort of matched by everyone else around us points-wise. The bottom 10 are shite in this league.
Yep.
And we've only ourselves to blame for leaving it this late. 23 points lost from winning positions is criminal.
Spot on.
Lee, yes. Well, thanks, Lee. But only if the other teams around us stop picking up points and if we play like we did first half on Saturday. Wexford says, no, we can't score with our forward line. Squad has been checked out for 15 months. Board still basking in glory 22 months ago. Another double relegation inbound. Graham, no, if we can't take the clear-cut chances we're creating. Saturday's game should have been sewn up by half-time. We let Middlesbrough walk away with a point they didn't deserve. And Chris, if we repeat our form in our final 8 games, we get 14 points. We'd be lucky if that was enough. But if we beat the sides around us, it will go to the wire. If we get the ball down and play like we did the first half Saturday, we have more of a chance than when we just launch it long. I think we've covered all those points already, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's nice to know that, other people see it a similar way.
But again, there is an element where we all seeing the same thing. Apart from
a lot of the things that we're moaning about, though, it's done now. For example, the recruitment and the transfer window, it's done. So they've just got to try and find a way now.
It's a nice thing. Let's sort of wind up on some nice information. Naismith won Diamond Player of the Month for February. But the one I'm liking is the Hatters ladies made it 9 wins in a row. Maybe we should get them in the team by seeing off local rivals Watford as they warmed up for their Thursday Bed Senior Cup final in style. Good luck with that cup final, girls.
Yeah.
And let's hope you bring a trophy home, because we could do with one right now at the club, couldn't we?
Would be good.
Hull away. We've just touched on it. We're not going to talk about the game in much more detail. It's a long way to go for a stupid time kickoff because of Sky Sports. It's a 7:30 trip out.
7.
Oh God. And let's have your predictions of the scores. I think Darren, you might have the other. You might have.
I believe Jacob's gone 1-0 to Luton.
Yeah. And anything from Bataro, you don't have to know. Again,
no, nothing from.
Right, controversially, I'm going to go 1-2 to us. So 2-1 us.
What a weird way of saying.
Well, it's 1-2. The one home game. They're at home, aren't they, Hull? 1-2. 2-1 Luton.
Yeah. He's factually correct.
And to
that's
be
almost
fair,
like a change is as good as a rest.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's
yes,
the
that's
saying.
Yeah.
Can I just also say you wrote it down exactly as I said it?
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Steve.
2-0 Hull.
What?
Wow.
Why are we going then?
You've seen my wife.
Okay, fair enough.
Wow, Steve.
Like I say, only people interested in this is us 4 and 5, and I'm not interested because I know that I'm bottom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gone for 1-1.
1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Oh, okay,
1-1.
you got a point from the weekend.
I did get a point at the weekend.
Just before we wind up, Steve, you had a chat with someone at the weekend, I suppose?
Yeah, I was walking down Kenworth Road, chatting with young Lenny, and lad behind goes,
Lenny? We'll get on.
lad behind goes, I recognise that voice. He said, "Yeah, you, Steve." He listens to us on the train on a Tuesday morning on his way to work, so he was a bit disappointed that we'd done last week's a bit later. He said, I didn't know what to do on the train. It's ruined his whole routine.
He could have listen to an old one.
Yeah.
That's what
One where we
a happier one.
Yeah, happier one.
Have we got a greatest hits? But no, so Chris, he listens to us. He likes and subscribed as well. So so hello to Chris. Darren, have you got anyone to say hello to?
There was some fella.
That was me.
Underneath the Kenworth stand there, he came over and pestered me before. He looked awfully like you, Steve.
That was me.
It was you. That is the only person to recognise me.
Bloody hell. Listen, if you've made it this far, thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already, if you can like and subscribe, that'd be very useful for us. International break, thankfully, come in. We can all take a bit of a break and refuel and get ready for this this journey to the end of the season. And the end of the season can't come quick enough. Really,
the final stumble.
Well, the final stumble. And on that note, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you all again next week. No, week after next.